Story 1. TIFU by having my brightness all the way down. Last night, I was sitting in my bed at 1 a.m., scrolling through my computer and watching porn. My entire family was asleep, but I was still nervous I would wake someone up, so I ended up turning the brightness and volume down really low because I broke my AirPods. Anyway, while I'm in bed, I hear a sound outside my door. Naturally, I use all my remaining 1am energy to rush to close my laptop as fast as I can, forgetting to cross out of the tab. It would be open if you'd open up my computer. Turns out, it was just my dog moving in the other room. The next day, I'm at my high school, just minding my own business, when all of a sudden I'm in my photography class and we need to get our computers out to answer an in-class activity. I had forgotten about my escapades the night before, so I opened up my computer, and it was dead. Or what I thought was dead. I told my teacher, and he let me grab a spare computer to answer my questions. That night, I have an insane amount of work including an essay to write. I plug in my computer, press the button like 3 times. It's still not working, and I still haven't remembered the fucking nasty porn that was playing on my computer the night before. Now I'm freaking out, because I think that my computer's broken. All of my homework has to get done on the computer. That's when I remember the porn, and alas, my face contorts into something resembling an eldritch horror monster. Here's where I make my decision. Do I ask to get my computer fixed, risking my parents seeing the nasty shit that I watch, or do I suffer through it like a real one? I start freaking out. I text my friends asking what the fuck I do. I pace around the room like a crazy person, hands in hair and everything. My mom's making dinner and she sees me freaking out. Heart dropping down to below my knees, I answer with a sigh. I'm so enormously f***ed, but I have to get my computer fixed. I explain my situation, minus the 1am porn, and my mom walks over to my computer. My breath hitches. My dad is a computer guy, so I know he's the one who's going to fix it. So I work myself up to telling them, hey guys, so there might be a little bit of porn on my computer. My mom asks, have you tried adjusting the brightness? And she touches my brightness adjuster. Nora Jones is playing. There's a faint smell of onions wafting around the room. And there, in all its glory, is a full-screen image, sound off, of people f***ing each other. Story 2. TIFU by being too much time in the bidet. I woke up early in the morning and first thing I did was to go to the bathroom to take a dump. As I usually do, after shitting I stood up and went to the bidet next to the toilet. I opened the faucet, as usual, and let the water run up through my ass. However, I had the habit to simply relax this way, feeling the cold water, while I scrolled through YouTube stories. After about 5 minutes, I felt like one of my balls' hair was being pulled. A very sharp and acute pain in a single spot of my right ball. In the first seconds, I thought it was literally it, that somehow my hair was pulled by accident. However, the pain continued and started to intensify and spread. I urgently stood up from the bidet, my ass still wet, but I wanted to see if there was anything on my balls. There was nothing visible, especially because of the hair covering the skin. However, as I looked down to my legs, I saw a creature crawling in my inner tight of the left leg. I instinctively grabbed it as fast as I could and threw it wherever I could, trying to not squeeze it so it couldn't sting me. From seeing the creature to throwing it elsewhere, about 1 second passed. In this short time, I identified it as a centipede. My balls began to hurt even more and I started moaning in pain. My wife, that was sleeping until then, ran to the bathroom asking what happened. I said that a centipede stung my ball. We looked for it in the bathroom, and after a few minutes I lifted the rug, and we found it there, hiding. As I lifted the rug, it ran against the wall and simply disappeared, crawling between 2 tiles. To this day I'm impressed. There was almost no space between them, but it could squish itself enough. My balls began swelling and became red, the venom spreading through its surface. After some hours, we decided that I should go to the hospital to have the doctor see my balls. The doctor said that as long as it didn't progress further or started producing pus, it should be fine. Then he prescribed me a painkiller and I had a shot. The pain of the venom lingered for an entire week, but even today I can still feel a little pain in the skin, in the place where its forcepules pierced me, and it's possible to see 2 small points in the place where I was stung. Story 3. TIFU by going to the doctors. For context, I am obese. I was 124 kg, 273.3 pounds, about 3 weeks ago and today, I'm 116 kg, 255.7 pounds. The quick weight loss was done with the aid of Duramine, hunger suppressant, and Jardiance, prevents what is essentially the Uber of glucose for reabsorption from picking glucose up and lets the body excrete it out through urine. The doctor, Clinic A, didn't really touch on what the latter did, and I didn't bother to look it up either. I should have, but hindsight is 20/20. Anyway, the week I started the regime was also, coincidentally, the week I signed up for an insurance policy. The insurance policy required that I do a lipid panel and urine test at a random clinic, Clinic B, of their choice to ensure I did indeed have a clean bill of health apart from the very unhealthy triglyceride count that was recorded nearly 4 years ago. This morning, I went for the appointment. Did the blood draw and peed in the stupid bottle that caused me a world of panic and anxiety for a good hour. When the doctor, Clinic B, called me in to speak to me about the results, he didn't mention anything about the lipid panel, which is great to not hear about since it most likely meant I was fine now. But he immediately mentioned the super high counts of glucose in my urine and I just didn't know what to think of it. He told me to redo the test and I did, but it didn't improve, of course. I was sitting in the waiting area lost and in denial because a diabetes diagnosis would be devastating at 23 and would also mean certain career death for my route of work. I decided to think of how I could have developed diabetes out of nowhere in the matter of a few months. I didn't exactly go all out on sweets and chocolates and I had been fasting a lot as a result of the hunger suppressant. And then it hit me, I was taking a drug that I had no idea what it did. Researched the name, looked at its mechanism of action and was relieved. I then asked to see the doctor, Clinic B, again after the second lab result came back. Explained that I was taking Jardiance and that was what led to the high glucose count. Got grilled by him for 5 minutes as he forced me to write down the statement in the form that had explicitly asked us whether we were on any drugs that were prescribed. Thanks for being here. If you enjoy this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up and share it. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Take care.